Hey guys, so today is a decluttering video. I'm decluttering of a big portion of my makeup collection and mostly things that I haven't been reaching for the last 6 months, things that I don't think I'm going to be using, and I want to clear them out and pass them on to people who would enjoy using these makeup products simply because I know, like in my heart, I know and I admit to myself that there's just no way I'm going to use up all of this stuff that I own, and I hate throwing things out, so I would much rather pass things on to friends who would extract more use out of these particular makeup products. And most of what I'm getting rid of is high-end, so it would be a shame to waste things. So let's start with primers. I'm getting rid of a couple of pore primers. I have here the Estee Edit by Estee Lauder Pore Vanishing Stick, and I have the Professional by Benefit. I'm gonna pass them on. This one I've never used this one. This one I've used once. I don't have a pore problem, at least not at the moment. By the time I develop one, probably this stuff is going to be expired anyway. So somebody else for sure will be more happy with these products. A couple of Smashbox products. This is Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer Hydrating version, which is for my skin type. However, I generally prefer something either with SPF or some kind of a bonus like skincare benefits, not just the hydration, because for hydration I can just use regular lightweight creams that I really like using, or something with glow, or something that does something more than just a primer. I found that this didn't really do much because I bought a duo when I purchased this primers, and one of them I already passed on. I used up about a third and it didn't really impress me, and this one is still new, so I want somebody else to enjoy it. And the other one from the Smashbox series I'm passing on is the Photo Finish Hydrating Under Eye Primer. This is a really nice product actually, but I just generally reach for my under eye cream. So this just didn't get any use in my makeup box. I put it in my makeup box about 4 or 5 months ago, and I just reached for it like once or twice. There's no reason for me to keep this, so this is going to find a new home as well. The last primer I'm passing on is this Clarins Instant Light Radiance Boosting Complexion Base in 04 Apricot. And this one I purchased to either mix with really light foundations, which this is perfect for because this is a slightly darker tone. It's probably for darker complexions, but I'm not finding I'm using this really at all, because most foundations are actually in fact too dark for me. I don't need to darken them anymore. I did use it as a liquid bronzer, and it's beautiful as that on my skin tone, but I'm just not finding myself reaching for it. So before it quirks out, I am going to pass it on to somebody else so that they can enjoy it as well. Let's talk about foundations. I'm getting rid of 5 foundations and a corrector in here. Let's talk about first the drugstore finds. So Maybelline Age Rewind, Instant Age Rewind. I love the little concealer from this line, but I did not like the texture of this. I've used it once. I think somebody else can enjoy it. Maybelline Dream Wonder Liquid Touch Foundation. This texture I really enjoy, and this works really, really well on my skin. I think it's very flattering for somebody with dry skin. Actually, unfortunately, it's 15 Ivory, and this color, as you can tell, this is my tanned version. This is as tanned as I go. Okay? This is going to be way too dark for me. I didn't even open it. It's still sealed, so I am going to pass it on to somebody who's going to enjoy it. And the last thing is a fantastic product that I actually really do recommend, and this is LA Girl Pro Coverage HD High Definition Long Wearing Illuminating Foundation, and this is in the color white. Why I recommend it is why I purchased it. I purchased it to try it out as a mixer, because a lot of the time, as you can tell by my complexion, things are way too dark on me. And this is a really good universal silicone-based mixer foundation that you can lighten any foundation with it. They have also a really great range of colors, so if you want to buy something to darken foundations, very available. If you want something to light foundations, they have a white and really light colors as well. So I do recommend this as a really good universal mixer. I haven't found, and I didn't use it with serum foundations, but I haven't found any products that it really didn't play well with. It does play nice with other things. But in fact, I do have the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops, and I do reach for those a little bit more because they're a little bit more concentrated in the lightest color, or lighter than my own skin tone. So this just becomes redundant in my current makeup use collection, and I don't want it to go bad before I have a chance to use it. I'll repurchase it if I want to. It's really not expensive, so this kind of a thing is really fantastic as a mixer. I do recommend it, but I am going to pass it on to somebody who might enjoy it, because I won't get to it before it goes bad. Two higher end foundations that I'm getting rid of is painful, but I'm not somebody who's going to do a lot of mixing, honestly. I am somebody who's just going to buy things that fit me. And this CC, Your Skin but Better CC cream from It Cosmetics, I liked the texture. I liked the way it spread over my skin. It's very blendable. The color is light, and this is too dark for me even as a summer shade, so I am passing it on. And this Guerlain Parure Gold, this was an expensive bugger to invest in, and I do like it. It's in the color 02. That's way too dark for me, even in my darkest shade. This is as dark as I get. Why I purchased number 2 is because I use number 2 as a summer shade in Lingerie Depot from Guerlain, and I thought, well, maybe Parure is going to be like, you know, they're from the same brand, maybe the shade range is similar, but it isn't. This is darker than this, and this I can barely wear now, so it's still a little bit dark for me, but I apply very little, and today it's on me. It blends very well into my summer shade, the summer shade of my skin, as tan as I get, like this. So this actually works. This actually is too peachy and too dark, so I am going to pass it on to somebody who will enjoy it more. It's also heavily fragranced, which I didn't like. You know, Lingerie Depot is not as fragranced, so I was quite disappointed when I got this and actually applied it. It was quite overwhelming, and if you know anything about me, you know I love a nice scent, but this is perfume. This is not a foundation. So not recommending that at all, even if you do have the right shade. It'll knock your socks off with the fragrance. The thing that I'm getting rid of in terms of correctors is the Erase Paste by Benefit. I've used it once. There's a single tiny little touch of a finger in the middle of it, and I sprayed alcohol on top of it so that it's clean. It's a number 2, and that's the problem. I generally really enjoy this product, and I've had it previously in full size, but I do suspect, I don't remember for sure, but I think I probably had it in number 1. Number 2 is too dark for me. This is what I got sold by a sales associate. Yet again, try not to listen to sales associates, because in my experience, at least most of the time, they're wrong about the shade selection. For some reason, everybody wants to give me a darker shade than I am. I'm not this shade. Come on. Come on, guys. I know it's supposed to be a corrector. I know sometimes if you have really severe under eyes, darker correctors work better. They cancel things out better, and they can put on top a concealer, but just does not work for me. Chose to not go that route. Let's talk about face color products. First and foremost, I am going to be getting rid of Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in Reserve Your Cabana. This is a much raved product on YouTube. Much raved about product on YouTube, and I can see why. This is a really nice, cheap product that creates an effect that is not completely similar, but not completely dissimilar from Hourglass powders. My qualm with it is that, as you can see, it's quite powdery. Obviously, it looks really nice. It creates a very subtle sheen on skin. So I think for its price, the product is stellar. However, I have my Hourglass powders, and they are better. You know, crucify me, whatever you want, but Hourglass is better than Wet n Wild in terms of its texture. It just is. If it wasn't, I'd tell you so, but it is. So having original Hourglass powders, much beloved by me, I just feel like I don't need this, because they are not dupes, but they serve the same function, and I will always reach for Hourglass over this just because it's less powdery and it doesn't kick up so much mess, and it looks more natural on skin because it's less powdery. So it's just a question of texture. This texture is a little bit less finely milled, but I can't shit all over this product because this is actually a really good product. For the amount of money you pay for it, it is fantastic. But if you are somebody like myself who has Hourglass in their collection, you will know that it doesn't stand up to the Hourglass. So I'm going to pass it on. A couple of contour products that I'm passing on is this LA Girl Velvet Bronzer Contour Stick. This is also a decent product. Unfortunately, it did not wear well on me. It faded a little bit patchy, which is why I'm getting rid of it. And I have it in suede, a color that I didn't really love on my skin tone, and brazen, a color that I did really like on my skin tone. However, I kind of have a dupe. So this is the Clinique Chubby Stick Contour. So the stick, I really like this. This wears much better than the LA Girl one, but the colors are very similar. So if you're looking for a dupe for the Clinique for very few, very few dollars, LA Girl is good. It does, this brazen color is a fairly good dupe. It has a slightest amount of sheen in this, but the tone is just the same as the Clinique Contour Stick. The Clinique Contour Stick wears better, which is why I'm keeping it, as opposed to the LA Girl stick contour. Then I have two cheap products in terms of blush, and both of them I'm getting rid of for the same reason. Unfortunately, the color, I'm experimenting, I guess. I was trying it out, but these colors do not look good on me. I have to mention about Milani Luminoso. Everybody freaks out about this product and loves it so much, and I can see why. And it looks pretty on people, other people, not on my cheeks. It looks horrible on my cheeks because it has this orangey undertone, and these orangey blushes, like this one from La Masque in the color Lover, this is just not flattering on my skin tone. It doesn't look horrific, but it is just not as flattering as some of the other colors that I own, so I never reach for it because it is not my color. Somebody else might enjoy it tremendously because it is a beautiful color and it's a very nice texture. It's a good blush, really good blush, not my color. So getting rid of that. Same reason for Fine 11 by Benefit. And this is a cream product, which breaks my heart because I love cream products and cream blushes in particular. But this one also has this giant orange stripe. So the whole point is that you're swiping it on, the highlight is on top, and it's like all one and done. But there's this giant orange portion in it, and I mean, orange is just not my color. It does not look flattering on my skin tone. I don't participate in the whole craze about like super warm eye looks. Like it doesn't suit me, therefore I'm not doing it. And I encourage you also to not do things that don't suit you. So peaches and oranges, however trendy, if it doesn't suit you, you absolutely don't have to participate in the trend. If you want to, you can, but if it doesn't suit you, just like, why bother? That's at least what I think. Let's talk about eye stuff. I have two eye primers that I'm passing on. One of them I've never used, and this is the Lorac Behind the Scenes eyeshadow primer. I have eyeshadow primers that I'm enjoying right now. It can't wait for years for me to get to it. And same can be said about Laura Mercier in Wheat. And this one, unfortunately, is a little dry, although it's new. Is it supposed to be this dry? I think I'm even gonna toss it because I'm not at all sure that it didn't just dry out laying there, not being used. And I really didn't like the color either. It was orangey. As you know, orange is not my thing. So I am going to toss this, and I am going to pass this on. A couple of pigments slash glitters. I have three here. One of them is MAC Pigmented Naked, and this is a great pigment. I really like it. I have a big version of this, so this mini that came in some kind of a set can leave the collection and can be used by somebody else because I already have a big one. Pixie by Petra in Rose Gold. I like these glitters. They're not quite a dupe for the Stila ones. I'm going to talk about them, but they're quite nice. They're not as amazing as the Stila ones, but they're really, really good. This rose gold shade just didn't appeal to me, so it can go and find another home. Also, I am passing on this pigment by Lise Wattier, which is a luxury Canadian makeup brand in Folie Aqua. And I don't wear blues, so I don't really need this. I haven't reached for it in a bit, so there's no reason for me to have it. And then three pressed shadow things. This Rimmel London single in Q Jump, I guess, magnifies mono eyeshadow. I don't really like this. I don't really think it's anything special or interesting, and I am going to get rid of it because this is a color that is available in every palette ever made. Then this trio from Wet n Wild. The texture of these shadows is actually really, really impressive. I love Wet n Wild shadows. They are powdery, but they also have a creamy quality that I really enjoy. This trio though, I'm never reaching for these colors. I don't think they're all that interesting. I don't think they're all that flattering on my skin tone. So I will toss this. It's quite old. Something I'll pass on, I won't toss, is this Too Faced Boudoir Eyes eyeshadow palette. And I love the color selection here. I think the colors are totally me. This is the color scheme that I go for. Slightly taupey, slightly smoky, very subtle. This is what I go for. I love the color selection here, which is why I purchased it. But I haven't really been buying from Too Faced because I don't think their eyeshadows are as amazing as they used to be. I have this palette by Too Faced, the Love palette, which I think is a bomb. The formula here is different. I love that formula and I'm using it constantly. This formula is pigment, like medium amount of pigment, which I like actually, but a little bit too powdery, and they are not very impressive to, the performance of these is not very impressive. The problem is that they fade throughout the day quite quickly. I'm not going to settle for mediocre performance. This is a nice color selection. If they hold on to your lids, great. For me, I have long days and my days are too long for this eyeshadow palette. And since it's a nice eyeshadow palette and an expensive one, I can pass it on to somebody who will enjoy it. Okay, let's talk about lip products. I have a bullet lipstick that I'm passing on. This I used once or twice and I've cleaned it obviously. So this is Chanel Gabrielle in the color 19. I just don't reach for it. I have other red lipsticks that I like more. So this, having been almost never used, I think should find a better home. These are two new products from NARS. The NARS pencils, this is in Corella, this is in Rakugian. They're iconic, they're beautiful, they're really nice, but I love my Bite pencils so much more that these are just going to spoil, so I'll pass them on. They're new. This I've sharpened. This is MAC Boldly Bare Lip Pencil. I found that I'm not wearing lip pencils. It's just not something I gravitate towards. I just don't do it. So instead of spoiling there, maybe this can find a new home. I have a couple of sort of liquid lipsticks or whipped lipsticks from NYX. They're the soft matte lip creams, and the colors are Monte Carlo and Copenhagen, and they're beautiful. They're great. I actually really like them. I've worn them only a couple of times, so these are quite fresh. Some of my friends probably won't mind that I've worn them on my lips, given that I don't have any infections or anything funky going on with my face. So if somebody wants them, they can have them. If not, I'll just toss them, but they're nice. I enjoy them. I just happen to have lots of other lipsticks that I have in my collection right now that I would rather be using. And two lip glosses, same goes for these. If somebody wants them, they can have them. They're fresh. I've only used this one a couple of times, and this is the Guerlain Gloss and Fair in 461. I have made a video comparison of the Gloss and Fair from Guerlain and Vapor Beauty, and the color is really similar, and I much prefer the Vapor Beauty formula. So although I've used these kinds of lip glosses for years and it used to be my favorite formula, I now have another favorite, so this can leave. This guy from Lise Watier is new, and it's a Plumpissimo lip gloss. This is basically a very pretty glittery gloss, and this is the second one that I've had of this kind of a gloss from Lise Watier. I am going to pass it on because it's new and I don't need it, so somebody else can use it. And that's it. I hope it was fun for you guys to watch my vanity declutter. It's pretty massive, I think, at least. I'm getting rid of a lot, and I really enjoy getting rid of a lot. It kind of paves the way for new things to enter my life. I don't need to be holding on to things that I don't absolutely love. And that's it. And I encourage you to do the same if you have something to declutter. If you don't, obviously, then don't. But if you have stuff and you don't use it, just give it to somebody who will. That's it. That's it for today. See you guys later. Have a good day. Let me know if you've done any decluttering recently. I'm always curious to find out. Bye.